Well, it's popping. Your boys here, RaJuR, real D cool, and I'm back in the lab. I'm getting ready to pull up another song. I was just using another song while I was doing the fragrance video to my peeps who into fragrances. But right now, I'm going to load another track. I'm going to import another track, and I'm going to tell y'all my process. If you guys didn't check me out last night, talking about my process and how I go about mastering and stuff like that. Okay. So right now, I'm going to go to one of my other albums because I plan on making. I'm going to make an album that's going to be some of my favorite songs from my past CDs, and there's going to be some new material. There's going to be some material for some artists that I'm working with, and that's what this whole 2020 CD. I'm kind of glad it went this way instead of it coming out in 2018, which is probably in 2018 because my first CD came out in 1998. So I was trying to do 20 years of me doing this thing, but you know, hey, didn't quite work out, but hey, better late than never, right? So I'd like to thank the Heavenly for the opportunity to be able to see you guys. And now I'm going to pick one of my favorite songs that I think I'm going to want on this CD. One of my old songs from back in the day, maybe from the very first CD that I made. So let's go with that. We're going to go with Train Line. Everybody kind of liked the Train Line. And this song I made was dedicated to where I worked at. And if you listen to the song, you'll hear me say that in the beginning. This song is dedicated to my job, you know what I mean, where I was gigging at the time, Scepter Fern Rock on Broad Street. And let me set it up.
Another day, another dollar. That's what you say, you know what I mean? That's what
You hear my radio in the background at work and everything.
Driving the subway up and down the line on Broad Street.
This when I was driving the subway, picking up people. Hit a horn from the subway. I was doing a lot of kind of cool things back in the day when I made
But it's
music,
dedicated
right?
to my brothers and sisters at Scepter, especially on Broad Street.
Fern Rock. Now, the Fern Rock is actually where I worked at and where I continue to work at, but I don't drive people. I don't move people up and down the line anymore. I work in the yard. And basically, I like the song because basically it was the first song that came out on my first album. And you see that's my album right up there on the wall there. That was my very first album in 1998. And they got a write-up. It got write-up in the paper. And I think I put that up. If you go to my website, you'll see the write-up in the paper. And yeah, I did a lot of things back then. I was trying to pop it off on the pop-off. So what I'm going to do is, I know this song needs some mastering because back in the day, I ain't have any mastering gear. I didn't know how to, all I did was I put the CD out and I was like, yo, it is what it is. I ain't got time to be playing around. We're going to pop this off on the pop-off. So right now what I'm going to do is explain my whole process down here. You know, I have a lot of gear, and the way I work my gear is here in my studio, I have gear for producing, which is my synthesizers, all that good stuff, my sound modules with sounds in them. Got Logic 8 that I use for sounds, and then my regular mixing stuff, you know what I mean, for mixing. And that will give me my mic pre's right there, the Focusrite, the UA audio, then we got some 500 series stuff right there. So we got a lot of gear down here, but I do all three stages down here. I create the music, I produce it, then after I produce it, I start adding the vocals and stuff, and then I mix it, and then after I mix it, now I'm going to master it, because I got the programs and everything I need to master all of my material now. So I'm not just doing, one thing or two things. I'm doing pretty much everything down here now. And I can do that for a client as well. So look at this as being an advertisement for people who, want to come down and want me to master their stuff. They want to send me their stuff in the mail. Say, look, man, can you make this sound better, bro? You know what I mean? Can you think you can put a little something up on it? Back in the day, I used to try to do it. I had no idea what I was doing. A very known guy here, and I think internationally too. His name is Bill Jolly. He used to play for Grover Washington. Came down my studio years and years ago. And at that time, I had some equipment, but I ain't know anything about mastering. So a friend of mine by the name of Johnny Kroom, who's well known too, he played with Boys II Men and Aaliyah and all these people. He was like, well, look, man, Bill want to know if you can master some music for him. I'm like, all right, cool, give it to me, send it down. And he sent it down. I thought I was mastering, I thought I was adding, and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, no, that's not right, blah, 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 blah. And he came down to the studio, and he was like, no, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I didn't know what I was doing. Now I think I know what I'm doing a little bit. So basically, mastering of the process, like I said, if you made a song in your house with a computer, right? You just had a computer and you made the song. There's no way that song is going to be really ready to be radio ready. No matter what you think, it can have all the bass you want. It can be jumping and bumping and humping, but it's still I'm not sure what's up with this bad boy. This bad boy be lunching sometimes. Yeah, I haven't used it in a while, so I'm not sure what's going on. Anyway, it can be humping, bumping, sound good. The vocals sound good, but that don't mean it doesn't need a touch of mastering. Somebody just to bring up something, maybe bring up some levels at certain places in the song to make it flow naturally. And you can actually do that in mastering. Some people make you go back and you gotta mix that all over again to make it sound right, and then I can master it. Then sometimes you can take your stuff to the mastering lab and then say, you know what, I don't need to do this. This sounds good. You know what I mean? I might add a little compression, turn down the levels so they can work for the internet. Because right now it's something totally different now. You know, CDs are out of the question right now. Like a lot of cars don't even have CD players anymore. So everything is really download to your phone, download to your car, download whatever, and it's got to sound good when it's downloaded to your car. You know what I mean? I'll still use CDs myself for when I'm producing because I like to put everything on my machine, make a CD, and then I start to import it. But when I send it out to be like, you should always have some CDs to sell. There's still some old school peeps that like to have CDs in their hand. They want to see the liner notes, they want to see who was on it and all that stuff. And then there's people who rather just download it and they can see the liner notes on your website or wherever you're going to actually start to sell this at. And you can put your liner notes down. At any rate, that's what that's about. So right now I'm getting ready to try to sparkle this track up and try to give it a little bit of oomph, you know, that I think it might need. And I'm using some plugins, so you probably can't see the screen. It won't be really clear to you, and especially if you're not familiar with plugins. What plugins do is they take your music and they give it something different. Now here, this is my stuff from last night. All this stuff's from last night, and I gotta get these things back flat. And I just started using this program, so I really don't know how to use it that much. So we're gonna go to disable. I'm just gonna delete. That's what we gotta do. Delete. There you go. Delete and delete. Now this is an EQ. This EQs it like, you know, you're in your car, you turn up the bass and you turn up the treble, but this is a little bit more intricate. You know, you can do that. You can turn it up like bass and treble, all that stuff, but it does a lot more than that. You know, you can solo different areas. I can put like 100. I can put a whole bunch of EQ points on here. As many EQ points as I want. I can EQ. Just hit EQ, 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 and every time I touch a spot, I can EQ it. Hey, I can have a whole bunch of EQ spots here. Instead of just having 1, 2, or 3, I can have a whole bunch, and I can add compression if I want to make them, you know, do something as well. So basically, delete. Gotta do this again. Delete, delete. So this is what's gonna spice the music up. I might add a little bit of bass. I might take out some stuff. I might say, okay, well, I don't need as much as that, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of things you can do with this, and I'm still learning it, you know, but I'm still familiar with it. And then I also have this bad boy right here. It's called Span. And Span kind of shows you what your music is doing. It shows you what the EQ is doing. You have 20 to 20K down here. So you can actually see it. When the music starts playing, you can actually see what the music is actually doing graphically here on in Span. And then I use another EQ called the stereo, AI stereo. And this helps you to open up your stereo band to make it sound wider. You know, sometimes it can sound really like you're not really feeling the left and the right. You know, you might have a guitar or something on the left and the right, and you might not really be able to feel it. So you open up this stereo width a little bit, now it'll open up a little bit more, and then you can really hear if that guitar is on the right or that vocal is on the left. You did some special, you want to be able to hear it. That's what this is for. It opens up the stereo width for your track, for your 2-track. Okay? And last but not least is the one I use here. I can turn these off for now. Turn them all off. And this is called SonarWorks. And what this does is, this flatten out my headphones to make sure that whatever EQ I'm doing using these headphones, I'll definitely hear it. A lot of times we use headphones. A lot of people don't mix in headphones because they can't trust the headphones. The purpose of this program, and you can do it with your speakers too, if you want to like make your speakers flat, because your room might not be totally flat. Like this is not a treated room. This is not a studio treated room. No way in the world. So I can't truly really trust what I'm hearing from my speakers because this is not truly a treated room like a major studio. So for me, it'll be better if I use my headphones. And by using these headphones, this program will actually make my headphones sound true. So if I'm adding bass or I'm adding treble or I'm taking out some mid-range or whatsoever, I'll truly be doing that. Because this right here, do you see these wiggly lines here? Once I apply this program, it straightens them right out. And now I can do what I got to do. Now here we have some other things. I don't really know anything about a boost and tilt. I'm probably gonna be learning about this later on, what the X curve is and all that stuff. I'll probably mess around with that later on. Here we have safe headroom space, and what it does is just lets you know that you might not want to go too loud past a certain point, and that's what it's saying. This is the safe headroom space is. I'm not sure if you can even see that, but like I said, I want to be able to adjust it myself here. All right, so let's get started with this track real quick. I got about 5 minutes, and here we go. This track is my first track off my CD that was banging, and everybody called it a lovely track called Train Line, dedicated to my people at Scepter in Fern Rock.
Yeah, here we go again. Another day, another dollar. What can you say? You know what I mean? You gotta do what you gotta do.
So right now, only thing I have activated is my headphones to make sure they straight. So I know they're straight.
Chilling here, Philly. I'd rather be doing
So now we're gonna go ahead on and start messing around with the EQ first.
But it's dedicated to my brothers
And I'm trying to see what kind of bass I need. So I'm gonna come out this unit right here and go to another unit. So all that is flat. All that is definitely flat. So I need to add a little bass to this. And I'm gonna spread this out because I need a little bit more bass all the way around the spectrum. And now I'm gonna listen to what I just did individually. So this let me hear just the portion that I just did as far as the EQ. Just let me hear that. I think I want a little bit more. So now I'm adding a little bit more. Okay. Now we'll go to the mid-range, which will be around here, around this area, between 1K and 5K will be my mid-range. I'm gonna go here and start adding some stuff. And then let me hear what I did there. So now we're just listening to what I did there. Right? Now it's telling me what's been boosted. Now I'm gonna go to the high end a little bit. Put some high end in. Add a little sizzle to it. Now listen to what I just did there. So you can hear a little sizzle I added to that. Now we're gonna freeze it. Now let's listen to it without the EQ. This is what it sounded like before. Right? And now what I did with the EQ. All right? So now let's go to span and see what that looks like in span. So it's telling me what's going on, and how many dBs that's taking place using this. You can change your colors on this, by the way, too. If you like. I like orange. And here's your meters here, letting you know how much you are over or zero. You don't want to be over zero. So I want to back this down a little bit. So I can go here, drop it down a little bit, so we get that zero we're looking for. Okay? We're gonna go with the hold. So it's still over 0. Now if I back this all the way down, it's still showing over 0. So I'm gonna go over here and back it down here. I wonder why it's still showing hot. Okay. All right, so let's start this bad boy again.
Yeah, here we go again.
I'm gonna back that down, and I'm gonna go back to span again.
$1.
There we go. So I had to back it down from the
That's what you say, you know what I mean? That's what you gotta do.
all right.
The subway up and down the line on Broad Street, you know what I mean? Chilling here in Philly. I'd rather be doing my music, my producing thing, you know.
That's no EQ, the original.
My brothers and sisters that set
And now here comes the EQ.
Broad Street, firm
And we're still not up to 0 here. I want it to be up to 0 here. So let's just turn this up a little more. I don't want it to be too red up there. Not too red. But I need more space for when I use my analog gear to add to the mixing process. Or the mastering process, I'll say. So again, that's the EQ. That's no EQ. And now that's the EQ. All right? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the span and check span out again. And now span is kind of reading right. It's not too much above 0, it's just where I want it to be. Okay? Now let's go to the stereo plugin and see how we can add stereo width to this. Let me see if y'all can hear it. You ready? So now you hear more stereo separation now. So I'm going back and forth with that, panning that back and forth left and right. And it gives you more of an idea of what you're having as far as your stereo width. This says 100 is wider than normal. Still might want to add just a little bit more. And you hit the safe bass to make sure it doesn't split your bass up too. All right? That's regular. And that's with the spread. Regular. And now with the spread. All right? So we all in. We got everything the way I like it. The main thing is the EQ. If I take the EQ out, yeah, we don't like that. They ain't gonna do it. They ain't gonna pop it off for us, right? All right, so that's it. So that's my mastering process and how I do what I got to do. I got to get ready to bounce, y'all. It's 10:30. Hey, thank y'all for stopping by and checking me out. And I'll do some more videos if y'all want to learn, you know, how to turn this up or how to turn that up. What should I do? What should I add to my studio? Anything you want to talk about, man, just hit me up. Put in the comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe to my videos. www.rajur.net is my website. You can go there and look for content to be going up more there. I don't have a lot of content. I got old content up, but after the day, we're going to put more content up on that website so you guys keep up in touch with me. And I got a Patreon as well. I'll be setting up pretty soon, all right? So I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good one. Talk to you soon. Later.